Okay. Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me? Oh, what the hell happened? I am so sorry about that, guys. Let me check my phone very quickly just to see where we're at when it comes to the stream. Alright. Hello, everybody. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong stream. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, guys, we're having some technical difficulty. No, I'm live right now. Alright, hello? Yeah, guys, we're having some... Okay, alright. That stream delay is not that bad, so... yeah. Let us continue, shall we? So... alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go mute very quickly, and I will be right back. Okay. And if not, you guys are going to be able to hear my phone call. But give me 1 second. Oh. Go up. Okay, everybody, we're back. So, I think we're ready to start streaming. Let's see. Desktop. Let's do desktop capture. Oh! Oh, shit! Now we're gonna see my face. There we go. Hey! What's up, everybody? We got my fat fucking face. And, yeah, guys, you want to talk GVK? Because that movie just came out, as you all know. This should be just my stupid face. Oh, Tara DeCarmen is here. Hi, baby. That's my girlfriend. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. So I'm sorry about that last little mini delay or whatever the fuck that was. Turn off studio mode real quick. Okay, so we're here. We're gonna talk GVK. Again, sorry about that last stream delay. What's up? Yeah, we got Night Hunter, Zimzilla, Poe Sketchbook. That dude, that dude was here. You were the one who was first, man. He was here like the beginning of the stream, like when I went on like 2 hours ago. So thank you for being here. Okay, everything looks in order. So I got the chat right there on the side, right there. I have a webcam, unlike last time. I think this time last year when King of the Monsters came out, I was just using my Mac. I was like, all right, let's go. We got my dog back there, Coco. All right, enough of that streamer shit. Let's actually get going. So, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That movie sucked ass. I wasn't a fan of King of the Monsters because that movie, if you're gonna go crazy with it and you're gonna go balls to the wall with monster action, you might as well give us, you know, good monster action. If you want to go sci-fi thriller, you might as well give us good visual effects, good monster action. The characters, they could have used a lot of work. It could have been much more, you know, much less ham-handed. I'm gonna put my seat up. And, you know, the plot was just insane. Focus. It was just insane. It wasn't like, it didn't make a lot of sense. So, when GVK comes around, you know, not only, for some reason, GVK made a lot more sense to me than King of the Monsters did. Because there wasn't a, the villains in King of the Monsters were eco-terrorists who wanted to restore the world back to balance. And, you know, it's like in that Brutally Haynes, you know, video movie review series of King of the Monsters, he talks about how they release Ghidorah, they released the fucking fire demon Rodan, who's supposed to, you know, restore nature, but he makes it look like hell because he's a fire demon. But in GVK, our villain, Walter Simmons, is somebody who straight up just wants to get rid of all the Titans. He wants to get rid of Godzilla. And it makes sense. You know, I was watching with my girlfriend in the theater, and she looks at me and she's like, she's like, wait, he's not really bad. He just wants to get rid of all the monsters. And I look at her, I'm like, yeah, he's not that bad of a guy. He's my boyfriend, actually. Yeah, I just realized, chat isn't exactly accurate right now, so I'm gonna fix that very quickly. But yeah, you know, Walter Simmons as a villain, he made some sense. He made a lot of sense. Pop out chat. I'm gonna copy this. So, in terms of actual like plot, I would say GVK makes more sense than King of the Monsters. King of the Monsters was just so adamant on trying to create a plot that made no sense. It ended up destroying itself. So, not good there, guys. There we go. New chat. I'm gonna do that for everything else. That was me kind of like being an idiot, by the way, because I wasn't exactly using the notes that I wrote. I made some notes trying to, you know, talk about all the good points I have, which I'm going to use, but I'm just trying to fix some stream elements. No, okay, that's live. That's live. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. We're set. Go! You set? She's set. That's one hell of a delay. I wish I could make that even, you know, worse. I mean, even better, but not gonna happen without restarting the stream. Okay. We're here. So, I know I just kind of spitballed a bunch of random ideas, but I'm gonna just redo all of it just because. So, what did I think of Godzilla vs. Kong? I think Ghidorah being in Mechagodzilla was kind of a crazy sci-fi idea, but hey, you know, if you're gonna go crazy, you might as well go crazy and just give us what we want. So what do I think of GVK? I thought it was pretty damn good, because Godzilla vs. Kong delivered on what it promised, which was monster action, okay? It gave us very good visuals. Yes, Night Hunter. Very good visuals. It gave us very, I'd say decent characters. Not the best characters, but they were very decent. And it actually delivered on what it promised. King of the Monsters did not. Kong Skull Island was the closest we got to actually getting, you know, delivered what is promised. G14, it had its flaws, but, you know, the visual effects were on point. The monster fights were good. Not great, but they were good. But there's too many cutaways. Kong Skull Island suffered from not too many cutaways, but only like a couple. Maybe one or two. King of the Monsters, the reason I hate King of the Monsters so much is because, it's not because I'm not a Godzilla fan, but it's because that movie did not deliver on monster action, which is what it promised. You know, Michael Dougherty in all the interviews was like, yeah, you know, it's not just about the monster fights. That was a very, very important part of our movie, but really, it was about the humans, and we wanted to deliver on good humans. And I'm like, yeah, so you're promising good humans and good monster fights. Why the fuck did you deliver the worst humans and the worst monster fights I've ever seen? I saw Godzilla's Revenge, okay? I'm looking at the camera now. I saw Godzilla's Revenge. Dude, those fights were way better than in King of the Monsters. Alright, I'm just fucking kidding. The fights, in terms of Monsterverse, they weren't the best fights, because not only did it destroy all like the criticisms of G14 by saying, oh, you guys, you want more monster fights? We're gonna give you less of that. You guys want less cutaways? We're gonna give you more of that. It just didn't do shit. Okay? So King of the Monsters overpromised and severely underdelivered, and for some reason that's praised among the fandom. So now we come to GVK. And it seems now they're starting to realize their mistakes and they're fixing them. They're giving us good visual effects. Oh, you want daylight fights? Boom, here you go. You guys want good fights with less cutaways? Boom, here you go. You guys want decent characters? Boom, here you go. That's what it gave us. So I'd say I'm a fan of GVK. Not because Kong is in it and Kong's my favorite because Kong's coming. Boom. No, because it actually just gave us good fights, and it gave us what it promised, and it cut off a lot of the fat of the movie. We didn't have to, like, you know, linger around a bunch of characters we barely care about. No, it gave us what we promised, and that was awesome. So that was very cool. So now I'm going to use the little notes that I used, or that I made right before going live. So what were the pros of GVK? The VFX were amazing. I saw Chris Stuckman's little mini review right before the actual movie, and he summed it up best. The visual effects in this movie reminds you that we are in the future, that there are so many astounding visual effects that you can make in a film that, you know, you wouldn't be able to do 10 years ago, 20 years ago, hell, 5 years ago. Like, the visual effects are awesome. The characters, much more likable and interesting than in King of the Monsters. The movie delivered on what it promised, which is monster action. You want to see Godzilla and Kong fight? Boom, here you go. I'm not going to do that boom, here you go little montage I just did. The music. So, this is a big one. You see me switch my notes away. So, the music in this movie was, I would say, not only a lot more memorable than in King of the Monsters, but I would say it was better. King of the Monsters had so much chanting to me. I know it's a little bit of a nitpick, but the music had so much chanting. It was forgettable music, and I would say maybe there's 1 or 2 tracks. You have the most memorable tracks in the Godzilla franchise, which is Godzilla's own theme. And that could have been redone to be, like, amazing. But instead, you know, we got forgettable themes. It was remade and remixed to the point where it doesn't stand out from all of the other, like, themes. It doesn't stand out from music from movies like other movies like Avengers and, you know, Captain Marvel or whatever the fucking blonde lady is. So that was the problem. Is I would say the music was a bit forgettable and it was too chanty in some areas and it was a little bit too dramatic. But, you know, that's just my personal nitpick. People love the music. That's all well and good. So, yeah, you know, the music in King of the Monsters was just meh to me, but I understand why it was good to others. So, if we took music aside, the story, full of plot holes, full of just shit characters, you know, the actual antagonist, Ghidorah, sucked ass. I will fight tooth and nail on that, because Ghidorah did not last. He did not last until he got a power-up. Until then, he was getting bulldozed. The novel straight up, like, confirms he tried retreating the first battle, which he did successfully. Second battle, he couldn't retreat it. And the third battle, he could not retreat it. So, weak antagonist, weak characters, weak story, weak, you know, plot, music, weak visual effects. 2019, 5 years to make the movie, terrible visual effects, terrible fight scenes. It sucked. King of the Monsters was an all-time low for the Monsterverse. G14, Kong Skull Island, and then GVK. That's the best part, is GVK delivers on monster action. That's amazing. We have decent characters who are actually funny and they're actually likable. I loved Brian Tyree Henry. He was one of my favorite characters. I was so hyped, you know, when he was, when we saw him in the first trailer, because I don't know, it's just something about him. He had, like, this vibe that I picked off, and I really just enjoyed seeing his character. Okay, I'm gonna interact with chat real quick. Grant's Lang Camp. So, what's up, man? He asks, what plot holes are you talking about in Godzilla King of the Monsters? So, for example, this is pointed out by Brutally Haynes, or Hanes, or however you pronounce it. He has a very cool series. I'm sure you guys have all seen it. What plot holes? So, we have the Mexico scene. During Rodan's, I guess, awakening, we have the Argo jet. It's approaching the volcano, and Rodan is just there roaring. And the village is right here, okay? The village is right here. This is the volcano. instead of and then there's ocean right next to the volcano. So we have the city, and then we have the ocean. Volcano splat in the middle. The Argo jet decides, hey, instead of going, towards the ocean, we're gonna go towards the village. Why? I have no fucking idea, because you gotta have some fan service. You gotta show he can level a city, that Rodan can level a city by just flying over it. So, the Argo jet doesn't go towards the ocean. It goes towards the fucking city. And all these people die, and we got Oshio Jackson hanging on. Hang on, kid! That Martinez guy. So, exactly. Yeah, and I know Night Hunter, they were trying to lead Rodan to Ghidorah. But that's the problem, is just because you're trying to lead Rodan, first of all, they could have circled around. They could have just circled around and gone to Ghidorah, okay? Instead, I get they had to go over the city to lead him to Ghidorah, but still, they just straight up caused so much collateral damage and a ton of deaths. They could have prevented that. So, that's just one of the many plot holes. There's not a lot. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know there were a lot of plot holes. So, it was just like, what the fuck, It was just, they prioritized spectacle over plot and actual logic and reason when it comes to the film. So, and then we got the jokes. Gonorrhea. He says gonorrhea. I'm like, dude, why the fuck is the guy from that Simi Valley show, or what is it called? Something Simi Valley. Why is he in this movie? I don't get it. Sam Coleman, as a character, he could have, I actually kind of liked him in some areas, and in others, he was like Bradley Whitford's character. I was like, why the fuck are they talking? But yeah. So, enough of shitting on King of the Monsters for a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of a break on that. I want to talk about GVK. So, yeah, I loved Brian Tyree Henry's character because he was, as Bernie, because he was just one of my favorite characters. He was funny, he was likable, he was enjoyable, and I loved Kyle Chandler. Kyle Chandler is an amazing actor, as you all know. He was in King Kong 2005, he's in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and now he's in GVK. So that's a little awesome, thing that we all know about, a little coincidence. I think Kyle Chandler was very underutilized in this film. I was going to talk about that in the con section, because the con section isn't really that bad. It's more of just me kind of nitpicking. King of the Monsters, I had a lot of problems with it that were not just nitpicks, there were major problems. GVK, very small amount of problems. And one of the problems is that we don't really get it established that Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown are, father and daughter, because we barely got that established in King of the Monsters. So we cut to GVK, and now, we barely get Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown save for one scene in the beginning where she's like, Dad, what is this? What is that? I would have liked to seen a little bit more of Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler, because you can tell even after takes place in 2024, I'm bad at math, 19, 20, 22, 23, 2023? Fuck it. 5 years after King of the Monsters, and you can still see that Kyle Chandler's character, Mark Russell, is kind of hurting over Emma Russell and, her actions in King of the Monsters. But I wanted to see more of a connection between him and, Madison Russell, because, once Mark and Madison have a, connection established, that raises the tension, that raises the stakes of the movie. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to interact with chat. The Wrong House, what's up, homie? What sections have I covered already? So, we talked about, I kind of just came in, lashing out at everything, because I fucked up the stream. But I talked about how, what I like about GVK. I'm going to quickly run it down for you guys. What I love about GVK. The VFX were amazing. The characters were much more likable and interesting than in King of the Monsters. The movie delivers on what it promises, which is monster action. That's what King of the Monsters did not deliver on. The music is much better in this movie, and it actually has somewhat memorable themes. The story's much more interesting. It makes a lot more sense than King of the Monsters did. Brian Tyree Henry as Bernie is one of my favorite characters. He was much more likable. He was very funny. And he works with what he has, and I think he straight up owned that role, which is awesome. I got sweat stains. I loved Kyle Chandler in the movie, and I was just talking about how I wish we had more of Kyle Chandler and Millie Bobby Brown, you know, more scenes of them together, because that would have not only raised the stakes and kind of elevated the tension of further scenes when Madison is in danger, but it would have just been cool to see more of Kyle Chandler as an actor, because not only was Mark Russell the best part of King of the Monsters, one of the best parts of King of the Monsters in my opinion, but I would have just loved to have seen how Mark Russell as Monarch director is just reacting to everything that's going on. He's only there for like a couple scenes. I wish he had a little bit more than a cameo. He should have served a little bit more of a role. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Now we're going to talk about Kong's throne. So Kong's throne in the movie is very, very reminiscent of Kong the animated series and the throne that he sits on in that series. So I've noticed between the MonsterVerse and Kong, the MonsterVerse and Kong the animated series, Kong has a lot of similarities between the two. For instance, they're both the protectors, right? They're both the guardians of Skull Island, except in the MonsterVerse, Kong is the guardian of Skull Island / the Hollow Earth. So they have a throne that they sit on. Kong, I think he's able to communicate in the animated series, not through fucking sign language, but kind of through like grunts, like and like all of that shit. And yeah, so I noticed a lot of similarities between the two, and that's awesome because Kong the animated series is one of my favorite Kongs. It was very cool. Yeah, so I saw a comment saying, what was your favorite part of the Kong design? Okay, you guys are gonna see me in my fat fucking ass in my shorts. I'm gonna pull out a oh, stay right there, Coco. That's Coco, by the way. That's my dog. Hang on, she wants to leave. Okay, why don't you get the fuck up on out of here, huh? Sorry, I say that to my dog all the time. She leaves my room. I'm gonna pull out a figure that I have. Okay. The Bandai Premium, Fuckwit 9000. I think this is the Bandai Premium Kong Skull Island. This is how he was as a juvenile. I do like a lot about this design. I'm trying to frame the fucking camera. What I like about this design is that he, I'm gonna use this as a basis, but in Kong, in GVK, not only is he more muscular, and he has a lot more of like, he has a lot more back. His back is a lot wider, and his cheeks are bigger. So okay, his back's a lot more wider. I love the fur. I love the beard. The beard is one of my favorite things to see in GVK when it comes to Kong. It totally fits him. He has a lot more of the spiky hair, and my favorite part about the design is that he has fur. The shoulder fur kind of tapers off like this, and it's a little bit wider than everything else, and so that kind of shows he has like a kingly drape around his around his back. Basically, it's like if I had a blanket and I just like held it. It's like I'm royalty basically, and that's what Kong is. He's royalty because he's the king of Skull Island / Hollow Earth. So that's awesome. So that's one of my favorite parts about GVK. It's just Kong's design, and his roar is a lot deeper. It's a lot more guttural, and it shows. He kind of sounds more like the 33 Kong, and especially like when he slams the carrier and he roars, trying to tell Godzilla, "Show yourself." So that's really cool. GVK Kong design. Now I'm going to get rid of my fat fucking face for a second. There we go. Ignore Arab Battle. That was a game I was playing on Roblox. We'll play it later. Oh, that's my spoiler stream thing. So I'm trying to find. Actually, I could just go here in the movie. Let's go towards the beginning. In this little. Oh, I just want to make sure my stream's actually showing. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, we got the chat showing. Very good. You got Gia raising it up. There we go. This is the part that I wanted to go on. So, what I love about this design is that Kong has a lot more broader shoulders. His shoulders are way bigger. And his hair, you can see his hair is much more spikier, which is kind of like the King Kong 1933 poster, where King Kong has a lot more spikier hair. I love, not straight up like a mohawk, but that sort of subtle like mohawk design is really cool, and I'm glad they incorporated that into this design because I think it really fits him. So he has that beard. I like the sharp beard rather than like, you know, like that fluffy curved in beard. It's a lot sharper, it's a lot more jagged. And his head is a lot smaller on his body this time around. One of my biggest criticisms of the Kong Skull Island design, which I will pull up. Ew, my fat fucking face. One of my biggest criticisms is just focus on me, damn it. One of my biggest criticisms is, I guess I'm gonna have to be blurry now. Oh, there we go. One of my biggest criticisms is how big his head is compared to his body. If you were to make his head smaller, that would bring out his body and it would show his muscularity, his vascularity, his strength. It would show he's a much more menacing force. And that's really why I like this new design much better than that one, is because he's got the beard, he's got the hair, he's much more stronger, he's much more larger, his back is much wider, and he's got that V shape going. So that's awesome. So yeah. Thoughts on the dome he was in. I'm sorry guys, I'm like taking so much time. This is one of like my first live streams. Real first live streams. I got the OBS and stuff going. Okay, thoughts on the dome he was in. I wish that one of the cons that I have when it comes to this film is that I wish they had like explained that more. I really wish they kind of elaborated on, yeah, due to the events of Camzots, at least name drop Camzots, at least show, yeah, because of the events of, you know, a couple years back, Skull Island has been in a storm. Maybe Ghidorah fucked up the storm on Skull Island and it just straight up engulfed the island and it shrunk the storm down until the entire island was uncovered, just completely encompassed in this massive storm. Or maybe they could show, I wish they just explained what happened a little bit and we can find out more in the, you know, Kingdom Kong comic. But the dome, it was a bit unrealistic, but hey, if you're gonna go balls to the wall with it, give us good monster action, give us good visual effects. Those are the priority, absolute priorities, and that's what they did. So that's amazing. So the dome visually looked awesome. I'm glad that if they're gonna go crazy, that they're giving us good visual effects and all of that, you know, nonsense. What do you think of Ghidorah besides him as a villain? What do you think of Ghidorah as a... I'm just gonna assume you're saying, what do you think of Ghidorah as a villain? He fucking sucked. He sucked ass. You know why? Because he got bulldozed throughout the entire movie up until his power-up. That is a fact. I don't care what you guys say. That's a fact. He got bulldozed the entire way through. He was kind of a joke when it came to Kevin the Left Head. I kind of liked that, but the problem is that we didn't get enough of that when it came to like his three heads actually having a, you know, their own personality. So, you know, as a villain, if your antagonist is getting bulldozed by your protagonist the entire like film, and he's supposed to be this menacing force, then that's gonna be a problem, because then, you know, we're not exactly, you know, scared of like Godzilla's safety. We're more just like, oh, Godzilla, go get that bastard. That's it. And humans end up doing more damage to Godzilla than Ghidorah ever could until he gets a power up. So, thoughts on him as a villain? He fucking sucked. What do you think about Mechagodzilla? Mechagodzilla was the Ghidorah that we needed. I swear to God, Mechagodzilla whooped Godzilla's ass. You know, showed that Godzilla can't take on every monster, and he can't bulldoze every single monster. So I was glad that Mechagodzilla was seen as that. I would have wanted Ghidorah to be that, and have a monster, like 2 other monsters be required to beat Ghidorah. I know that's what we saw last time, but at least give us something like that. At least show Ghidorah is powerful. Ghidorah was weaker than the Muto Prime. I think. I can't even tell at this point, because Muto Prime retreated 3 battles. Ghidorah tried to retreat 3 battles, but he couldn't. Both got whooped by Base Godzilla. But then, Base Kong challenged Base Godzilla and took him the distance much longer than... I would say the Mutos, maybe? But you know, Muto Prime, the male Muto kind of retreated, swooped back in for Godzilla, who was low on radiation at the time, so he was very slow, he was very, you know, tired, exhausted. So, yeah, I can't really tell, but I would say Kong is very, you know, he's much more powerful as a Titan. I have to scroll up now. The chat's going so fast. What do you rate the movie? I would rate it an 8 out of 10. Okay, I would give it straight up a 10 out of 10 in terms of Godzilla movies, because Godzilla movies, let's be honest, they're not anything special. They always lack good characters. They always lack something in regards to, you know, how they like are rated among cinema. So I would give it a 10 out of 10 when it comes to Godzilla movies. When it comes to just the regular movie, it's because it knows what it wants to be. It knows it wants to be a very like action-heavy movie. It knows it's so self-aware. It knows it delivers on what it promises ultimately, and that's what we need in this series. My baby Tara asks why an 8 out of 10. Hi baby, I love you. Why an 8 out of 10? Yeah, because it delivers on what it promises, and it shows that they're kind of learning from their mistakes when it comes to how they handle these movies. And the characters were actually decent. They weren't complete shit like the last movie. They weren't, you know, there weren't so many plot holes. There wasn't so many, like, just a bunch of bullshit. There were good visual effects. There was good action, good characters, decently good characters. And the soundtrack was pretty good. And that's all you need to make a good movie, is, like, basically 4 to 5 things. Good characters, good story, good visual effects, good action, and there is the 5 is a random one. You could take it or leave it. But yeah. So yeah, that's why I give that movie an 8 out of 10, I would say. And hey, my opinion is obviously subject to change. Maybe next year it'll be like King of the Monsters. This movie sucks. But I don't see that happening, because I knew with King of the Monsters that there were a lot of problems with it. I just didn't really want to say, because I was kind of like afraid of how people wouldn't take kindly to, you know, that opinion. How do you feel about the new Titans in the Hollow Earth? Warbat, the Fat Lizard, basically Minya, the Crab Things, Hellhawks. I love the Warbat. The other creatures are much more like mammalian when it comes to their like physiology, and I just kind of wish it kind of takes me back to I wish there were a lot more kaiju. I wish there were a lot more Godzilla-sized, Kong-sized, bigger, larger, smaller, muscular, skinnier, like just scarier monsters. I wish there were a lot more Titans, you know, in the Hollow Earth. I get, like, this is just our introduction, but still, I kind of wish there was a lot more Titans. They were really interesting, I'll say. They aren't great, they aren't the best, but I would have liked to see more, like, fanatical, crazier, out-there monsters, like, you know, just a lot more larger, more menacing monsters that are Kong-sized and bigger than him. Because now that you have the Hollow Earth, you're free to do anything you want when it comes to this series. So that's the one thing I wish, like, we could have more of, is just more like Titans, more titanic monsters. Yeah, give me 1 second. So that's what I wish we'd seen. Do I like or hate Minya? Fucking love him. He's the best monster ever. Up there with Gabara, but a little bit better. There's a little bit of a hierarchy going on there. I'm going to scroll up in the chat because I've missed a ton of questions. That was Night Hunter's question. I love you, Night Hunter. That was his question. AU, another homie of mine. What do you think of Godzilla and Ghidorah teaming up? No, that's so weird. I wouldn't want that. Thoughts on the characters? I thought Zekrom asks thought on the characters. I thought Team Kong was good. Team Godzilla was meh. Okay, this is a big, like, oh, King Kong 200, aka Amir, that's my name. Amir is fucking stupid because he thinks one thing, and the general consensus is that Team Godzilla was meh. It was pretty meh. I loved Team Godzilla. Millie Bobby Brown wasn't as, like, fucking annoying and just so, god damn, I just want to shut the fuck up. She wasn't, like, annoying like she was in King of the Monsters. Millie Bobby Brown had a lot more time to shine, She was a lot more confident, a lot stronger, back straighter. You know, I want to ask you a question about Godzilla. I think he's being, you know, manipulated. She seemed a lot more knowledgeable. She seemed smarter. She seemed stronger as a character. She seemed like she could hold her own, and that was awesome. Bernie played off of her very well. Julian Dennison, he's the biggest criticism that I've seen amongst the fans. I don't have a problem with him. I really don't. He makes sense. His quips are either you get the quips, and if you don't, then they kind of flow with the story anyway. So if he could be like, why are we going in there again? Or fucking doors, I hate doors. You know, if the audience doesn't get that, then, you know, we have the plot story of, oh, the door closed on him. I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, but yeah, I didn't have a problem with Team Godzilla at all. I really loved Bernie too. Bernie was one of my favorite characters, so I liked Team Godzilla, maybe even more than Team Kong. I loved the last joke where Nathan Lin is like, he goes over to G and he's like, listen, you are the bravest person, and it says coward. That cracked up me and my friend Alex, me and my homie, my day one. That cracked us the fuck up, dude. We were laughing our asses off because it was so funny. And what made it even funnier was Nathan's reaction afterwards. Gia smiles and she's like, no, you are the coward. And Nathan's like, well, maybe we both are. I'm just like laughing my ass off in the theater, way more than I thought it would. Like I would have. So that made me really happy. I wish we need more of that kind of humor, more well-written humor rather than he said gonorrhea. Shut the fuck up, Sam. Yeah. So we're gonna start getting to the battle stuff shortly. What do you think of the Godzilla Mothra ship? It's amazing. It even made me blurry. That's how amazing it is. How do you feel about Godzilla mauling Kong up and stomping him at the end? So, let's talk about the battles. So I'm gonna load up my notes really quick, and I talked about all the pros. Let me quickly run down the pros of the movie. VFX were awesome. Characters were much more likable and interesting than in King of the Monsters. Movie delivers on what it promises, which is monster action. The music is much better in this movie and even somewhat memorable. Story is also interesting and makes more sense than King of the Monsters. Brian Tyree Henry, awesome character, very good actor. As Bernie, he's a very good character, one of my favorite actors. He's very funny and likable, and that's what you need in these movies. G and Kong, they had an amazing dynamic displayed, and I just wish we got more of the two being close, and I'll touch on that later. I loved Kyle Chandler. I wish we got more of him. Kong's throne room, very reminiscent of Kong the Animated Series and the throne he sits on, and I love showing that he was like a king, and it was very, very nice to see. Now we get into the cons, and these are more like nitpicks I have, subject to change of course, but now these are just nitpicks. So while I'm very glad that King Kong is powerful, I think he should have at least won round one in order, like, you know, during the ocean battle. I wish he at least won the first round, because Godzilla basically spared him at that point. Now I know, I'm glad Godzilla was actually trying to kill Kong, and he tried his best, but I didn't like that Kong was getting saved by the humans so often. He got saved, I think, twice during the ocean battle, and he got saved once during the Warbat fight. So I didn't want to see Kong getting saved a lot. And that was one of my biggest fears, and I knew it was going to come true, but fuck it, right? I really wish that Legendary would stop with that whole, oh yeah, we have to stop. We have to have the humans save the monsters constantly. Because then why are they even a, you know, force at this point? Why are they a force to be reckoned with if we're the ones saving their ass and they could easily die? So, yeah, let's talk about the ocean battle very, very quickly. I liked the ocean battle generally, like the visual effects on point, music on point, action heavy set pieces, and the, you know, the visual cues like the boat flipping, and literally I remember the first time the boat flipped and I was like, oh, in the theater. I saw this trailer footage, and all the TV spots. For some reason, I went, oh, when I saw the flip and all the humans literally flying upside down. It was just so fucking awesome. But my biggest nitpicks is that Kong got saved a lot by the humans. That was just my biggest nitpick. And that Kong really didn't, like... I'm glad he held his own underwater, way more than Ghidorah or Muto Prime in their base forms. Plus, this Kong was sedated, so... I don't want to hear the Ghidorah was tired, Muto Prime is tired. Because Kong was straight up sedated, and... that was another thing that I, was right about, is that he was going to be sedated, which he was. And, yeah. So, I would consider that fight a draw, because while Kong was on his back, it's either a draw or Godzilla won. But I would consider it a draw, because if Godzilla wasn't able to sense that Kong was still alive after he tried to kill him, and he didn't approach Kong, I would not really give that to Godzilla, because Kong is right there. You could go over there and kill him, but you're not gonna. Let me lower my camera a bit. There we go. A little more, a little less. But yeah, so not a big fan of Kong getting saved by the humans, but it was decent, for what we got. I'm probably gonna hate this in the future when it comes to the aspect of Kong getting saved like 3 times throughout the movie. Because if you're gonna go up against Godzilla, you shouldn't be having to get saved by the humans every single second. So, yeah, I did like how he took a lot of military artillery and he took like those depth charges, as Zimzilla says. Yeah. Now, I've seen that. People say Godzilla wasn't looking to kill Kong, but he tried to drown Kong just before that. So he was trying to kill Kong. Otherwise, why would he try to drown Kong? What is he trying to do? He's trying to kill Kong. The only reason he approached them, the military fleet, is because he wanted Kong dead. Because Kong is not on Skull Island. For some reason, it's uninhabitable, which will be explained in the comic. But Kong is not on his territory, in his domain. So they take him off, and now he's in Godzilla's territory, which is what I was talking about in my other videos. So now, Godzilla wants to kill Kong. And it doesn't really make sense, because at first he wants to kill Kong, and then in the Hong Kong fight, he spares him. It's like, you try to kill him at first, so why are you sparing him? But he did try to kill Kong, and he was trying to kill Kong in the Hong Kong battle. So that's why I don't buy the whole Godzilla wasn't trying to kill Kong argument. I still understand some aspects of, like, Godzilla wasn't even trying the first time. But he was trying. You see him trying. So, yeah. That was one thing. Now, I want to talk about Hong Kong. My biggest criticism of the Hong Kong battle, I have 2 criticisms. I'm very, very, very happy that we got a nice, good-looking battle. I'm very happy we got a nice battle. I do wish that the battle was longer, around 10 minutes, because first of all, if the highlight is Godzilla vs. Kong, I wish we got more of Godzilla vs. Kong. I wish it didn't have to, like, immediately end once, like, Kong got up really close. Because I like the last movie, the last King Kong vs. Godzilla movie, that movie was much more, it was much more, like, longer when it came to the battles. Not the first one, but the second battle. It was much longer, and I know there's a bit of an intermission when Kong knocked himself out, but yeah, I do wish, like, yeah, exactly like what Night Hunter says. Dude, the Hong Kong battle zoomed past. It was really quick. I get the movie's very fast-paced, but you might as well, like, focus on the actual, like, battle set pieces. So, I do wish the battles were longer, and I do wish Kong stood more of a threatening chance in, the Hong Kong battle. I get Kong, like, he pulled like a 7 hit combo on Godzilla, or a 6 hit combo on Godzilla right before the drop kick, and that was really cool to see. But I just wish it was longer. I wish more of them, both of them, get more hits in. Kong gets more hits in than he did to make up for the ocean battle, and ultimately Godzilla would win. That's what I would want to see. So, yeah. Yeah, those are really my thoughts on the Hong Kong battle. Let me load up my notes real quick. Yeah, I don't like that Kong got saved so often. I would have loved to see more of Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler, because Kyle Chandler is a fantastic actor. Now, let's talk about, I just burped. Let's talk about Kong and Gia. So, Kong and Gia, I wish they had more time to shine in terms of their, one-on-one dynamic. And I wish that, like, Gia wasn't always trying to basically trick Kong, or, just kind of convince him to, help them, considering, like, it seemed like she was always trying to put him in danger, because he cared about her. It seemed kind of manipulative. But I wish we had more of like the two bonding. You know, I know the movie has like the perfect pacing or like a good fast pacing, but I wish it was, you know, much more. You know, I wish their dynamic was much more like heavily explored. So yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I wish the storm on Skull Island was much more clearly explained, since it really comes out of left field for the general audience who doesn't really read the comics. And Brutally Haynes, I'm gonna call him Brutally Haynes. Amazing YouTuber. You guys have to, if you're a Godzilla fan, I don't care if you like or hate Godzilla, you have to watch that channel because it sheds a lot of light, you know, in a very intelligent, clear, and concise way on, you know, the Godzilla franchise and the MonsterVerse, and how Godzilla King of the Monsters was very overrated, and how now he's talking about Godzilla 2014. He gives his thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong. But you guys should watch that channel. And he pointed out how you shouldn't have to buy, like, you shouldn't have to, you shouldn't have to buy outside sources and outside materials when you're already paying for your ticket for one movie. And you shouldn't have to buy something else to explain what happens in this movie. They should explain everything in the movie clearly enough, and if you want to elaborate upon that explanation further, then yeah, you can do it in the comics. But I shouldn't have to pay for my ticket and then pay for, you know, not Godzilla, like Godzilla Dominion, or I shouldn't have to pay for Kingdom Kong to find out why the storm has shrunken on the island. It should be much more clearly explained, really. I haven't looked at comments in a while. Let me scroll up because I missed a fuck ton of comments. No. What do you rate the movie? I already talked about that. What do you think about the Mechagodzilla? Is this the most recent comments? That sets up Mega G in the beginning. Yeah, okay, so this is accurate. What do you think about the Mechagodzilla fight? I think it was good. It was good seeing Godzilla get his ass beat down, because you guys are going to think I'm hating on Godzilla, but no. The reason I'm dying to see Godzilla get his ass beat like he did with Mechagodzilla is because every single time in the MonsterVerse, Godzilla destroys, and I mean destroys, every other opponent he faces. When they're in their base forms, Godzilla always immediately upon first encounter destroys every other fucking opponent. Male Muto, in 2014, I'm gonna go in order. The male Muto ended up retreating the first battle, and in the second battle, one-on-one with each monster, Godzilla destroyed the male Muto and the female Muto. And it was only until they tag teamed where they actually stood a chance. Muto Prime retreated 3 battles, powered up, and then he was able to challenge Godzilla. But until then, Godzilla was winning because the Muto was retreating. So King Ghidorah, it's the same case. King Ghidorah retreated the first battle. Not only was Ghidorah whooped in hand-to-hand combat up until his power-up, but Ghidorah tried retreating all 3 battles. So that was shit. That was complete shit. Especially for an antagonist you hype up to be like the destroyer of worlds. So fuck Ghidorah. Ghidorah sucks ass. And now we have Kong. Kong is the only monster who actually stood such a good chance against Godzilla upon first encounter. First of all, this is Godzilla who's attacked nuclear power plants and has absorbed radiation from attacking those power plants. So, this Godzilla is very powerful. He may be 164,000 tons, but we don't know about that. Again, it says it in the movie, but it also says his bone density is 8,000 megapascals, which would, I think, around that. Let's actually look at it. Well, let me finish this point first. If it's 8,000 megapascal, Godzilla's bone density, that would mean he could barely lift 30,000 tons. So I don't consider those, you know, those intro credits canon to source materials and stuff. But it's a bit of a foggy area or a murky area when it comes to that regard. But upon first encounter, Kong is fighting a much more powerful Godzilla while Kong is sedated. Confirmed sedated. So Kong doesn't retreat. Kong, on Godzilla's turf, Kong lasts quite a long time while Godzilla was trying to kill Kong. I get Kong got saved by the humans twice, but the fact of the matter is, so did Ghidorah. Okay, so was Ghidorah, who's hyped up to be the biggest, baddest, strongest monster, which he's not. So, and then when Kong got his axe was fucking useless. Yeah, it managed to, you know, slice into Godzilla's leg, but it only got 2 hits. On the second hit, I don't even think it connected. It may have connected, but as one of my friends says, it doesn't show. If you go frame by frame, it doesn't show it connects, and so maybe it discharges before it connects to Godzilla's head. But maybe it does hit Godzilla's head, and it's just fucking useless. So Kong is, you know, mainly hand-to-hand. Kong stands the biggest chance against Godzilla out of all the monsters. It isn't. If Kong were to power up, which, I mean, he feeds off radiation, he feeds off of that stuff, so who's to say he can't power up from a nuke? The point is, if Kong were to power up, he would probably be way more devastating than fucking Ghidorah is. Who knows? But, because Kong is fast. Kong is very fast. He's very durable. He tanked the atomic breath. As I've been saying all along, lo and behold, Kong, he literally, midair, he got sniped in the back. He was like, ah! He flew down, and then he got back up, and he did not give a fuck. He got up, and he still fought. So, Kong was able to tank the Godzilla's atomic breath, and he didn't get one-shotted. So, yeah, I just lost my... No, yeah, what I was saying was Kong is... I did like seeing Mechagodzilla whoop Godzilla's ass, because up until that point, Godzilla was undefeated. He had so much plot armor. He was able to destroy every single opponent one-on-one. They had to resort to either a power-up or a tag team and retreat. So, I don't like seeing that all the time. I want to see antagonists actually stand against the monster. And I just want to see opponents be able to last one-on-one against Godzilla. And that's what we got, finally, with Kong. Despite him losing, he still stood a lot more of a chance than other monsters. And Mechagodzilla outright destroyed Godzilla. So, I'm going to respond to some comments, and then I'm going to talk about Mechagodzilla. What do you think about Kong shoving the axe? I loved it. I loved Kong shoving the axe up Godzilla's ass, basically, and into his mouth. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see that moment last a little bit longer with Godzilla squirming. I like Godzilla was trying to reach Kong, but they showed Kong has a much longer reach when it came to Godzilla. He has a much longer reach. He has much longer arms, so that helps him with that. While this and the last movie establishes if you submit to Godzilla, he leaves you alone. To him, Kong submitted. No, that's wrong. Kong did not submit to Godzilla, and Godzilla saw Kong was not submitting. Godzilla saw Kong is an alpha, and he will not back down, and somehow that gained Godzilla's respect, so I'm glad that they showed that. I'm going to swipe up in chat very quickly. But Kong did not submit to Godzilla, and I love that aspect of Kong, because he has never been one to bow to anybody. This is America's monster, and I know that sounds really cocky to say, by the way. That'll bring up a bunch of political stuff, but no. This is just an equally powerful monster. Not in the Monsterverse. They didn't make him equally as powerful. They made him very powerful, but if Godzilla is S tier, Godzilla would be A. If Godzilla is S tier, Kong would be A tier, and then we would get a bunch of Titans underneath. To respond to some comments, Luis Wright says, I just want a Godzilla film where we have a moment where it isn't about kaijus and just have a solid 10 to 15 minutes about normal human conversations, even if it's boring, but we can get human development. Exactly right, man. So that's what I agree with as well. I get this movie's fast-paced. I would have loved to have seen more of just, like, you know, breathing room when it comes to, like, monster actions and scenes. I noticed, hey, an ape with internet access. I noticed you changed your profile pic, man. But very cool. So he said Muto Prime was running on leftover energy, so was Ghidorah, and so was Kong. So it doesn't really add up. So she wasn't in her base form. Yeah, okay, so Muto Prime was very level. She got up to her base form, and she kept absorbing radiation until she was above her base form. So, it was also said she could have killed Godzilla in the first 2 encounters. I don't really buy that. I don't really buy that either, because if she could have killed Godzilla, she wouldn't have retreated. Simple as that. What do you... yeah, man, I hope that answers your question. Just let me know if you have anything else to ask. What do you think of Kong and GVK? I'm glad he was strong. I wish he was an equal to Godzilla, because everything pointed to him being an equal to Godzilla. But he was very, very powerful. He was close to equal with Godzilla, which is awesome. But he wasn't exactly equal to him. but he wasn't weak by far. He was actually one of the strongest, probably the second strongest monster in the Monsterverse. Actually, no. The third strongest, with Godzilla the second strongest, and Mechagodzilla the first. Very, very powerful. I love that. Puts Ghidorah to shame. Puts Muto Prime and the Mutos to shame. But, you know, he has his weaknesses. Without the axe, I don't think he'd be able to beat, say, Shinomura. But, yeah, he was pretty strong. And that's only because Shinomura is just... he's like Destroyer or Hedorah. You know, he needs to be vaporized to be killed. He can't just, you know... can't be killed with punches, you know? But, yeah. I'm gonna read some of the comments. I'm a little bit behind, I'm sorry. Honestly, I think Kong won the first fight. I would say it was a draw. I don't think Kong won. Kong played dead. I guess you could say he won through intelligence, but Godzilla kind of left him alone. If Godzilla had attacked Kong, I don't think that would have been good for Kong. Because he wasn't in his element. Straight up. Godzilla losing should be the exception rather than the rule. Because if we see Godzilla getting whooped every film... Exactly, so Zimzilla. I would have loved... I get it looks like what I'm saying is Godzilla needs to get his ass beat in every movie, but no. I want to see, like, the Mutos, let's say the Mutos in the first movie, that's fine if they both get whooped one-on-one, but together they can beat Godzilla. But with King Ghidorah in the second movie, because it's King Ghidorah, I feel as though if they're going to be arch enemies, you know, show Godzilla can stand somewhat of a chance against Ghidorah, but ultimately he will get whooped, okay? That should have been the film that showed Godzilla is an alpha titan who's actually able to team up. What's an alpha without his pack, right? That should have showed that Godzilla can, you know, respect other titans and, you know, I guess recruit them to help fight against Ghidorah. Team up with Rodan. Team up with Mothra to help beat Ghidorah, like he did in the last one, in the last Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster movie. But, I don't think Godzilla should be getting saved so much as with Kong. I don't think he should be getting whooped as much as you guys may think I feel like he needs to be. But he should lose every now and then. Not ultimately at the end, but at least in the beginning of the movie. He should at least lose a battle. Or he should at least be shown to not be as strong as people make out to be. Because that'll end up with audiences hating Godzilla. Because here we go, we're going to watch Godzilla win again. Here we go, we're going to watch Godzilla win again. It's going to get boring. So, and that's just a fact. Bro, when Godzilla got stabbed in the leg, he should have been limping. Yeah, he got straight up stabbed in like an area where it's like, ow, I should not be walking straight. But I feel like he had a lot of plot armor in that fight because it looked like Kong's attacks weren't even doing anything at one point. You know, despite his combos, despite all the effort he put in, it looked like Godzilla was eating all of them, which is bullshit because that shouldn't be the case. Especially since Kong had Godzilla bleeding profusely. So, yeah. What was your reaction to Godzilla smiling after hitting Kong? I can't tell if he was smiling. It looked more like a growl, but that's my problem with Legendary Godzilla, is you can't tell if he's smiling or not. He's not as expressive as I would want him to be when it comes to, you know, him being CGI. I love the IDW Godzilla because he's very, very expressive. He's very expressive. I love that Godzilla is much more like... I like the details on his face, but I do wish that they were able to give him a kind of rig where it shows, oh, his eyebrows are up, oh, his lips are down, up. I know Godzilla doesn't have lips, but for God's sakes, it's CGI. At least give him some character and emotion. It's like the Toho films were able to give him some character by having him act through his actions. CGI, you can combine him acting through his actions and through everything he does physically with the kind of expressions he makes with his face. So yeah. What was your thoughts on Kong not submitting? I love it. Kong not submitting even in the face of death and on death's door is amazing. Because that's the Kong that we know and love. Kong didn't take the atomic breath. You're a fucking idiot, man. I'm kidding, you're not an idiot. You're my baby, and I love you. Let me go through frame by frame to show you what I mean. Alright, here we go. OBS. I have OBS. Let's go to the final fight. We're gonna go back a little bit. Just a wee bit. right here, right before the parkour scene. First of all, look at how fast Kong is. He dodges that shit, he runs, and I think he gets sniped a little bit later. Right here, look. I thought he got grazed at first. Let's watch that again. I will show you. He gets hit straight up. Frame by frame. 1, 2. Boom. Right in the back. Continuously. This is on his back. It goes up to his shoulder. It gets his whole arm right there. That's a direct hit. It's even flaming his other arm. So he got hit in the back and in the back of his arms. And what happens? He's like, oh, fuck. He hits the ground. He smiles because he's like, I got that son of a bitch. I do kind of see the smile now, and I'm glad. But I still can't tell if he's angry or not. Kong literally just shrugs it off. And he starts running because, you know, now we engage in the building parkour, which is amazing. I love that shit so much. So that's cool. Let's go back to my dumbass face. Hi! I'm sorry, guys. I'm so stupid. So yeah, y'all costing me my money? That's what happened. Kong tanked the atomic breath. Dumbass. I'm kidding. The problem is that Godzilla gives logic a middle finger, while Kong is actually quite realistic. Yeah, and it's like, you're in a grounded universe. The universe started off as grounded with G14. And it shows, like, they had all the puzzle pieces in place to make a realistic and consistent universe. I don't even care about the realistic part anymore. Consistency is key. They were not consistent. 164,000 tons. First Godzilla's 90,000 tons. Now he's 99,000 tons. That made sense up to King of the Monsters, believe it or not. GVK, those intro credits ruined everything because now Godzilla's 164,000 tons, but his bone density is 8,000 megapascals, and that means Godzilla can barely lift 30,000 tons. So that makes no sense. I don't consider those intro credits canon. I'm talking so fast, I'm having a heart attack over here. But yeah, Godzilla has some plot armor in that regard because he ends up like tanking certain things, but then other areas he gets like wrecked, and I don't get it. I really don't get it anymore. Oh my god, I am so far behind, guys. I'm so far behind. I have to start skipping questions. Am I far behind? I can't even tell. Jose the Yeet. What happened to the other Titans? I guess they got defeated. I wouldn't say they were killed, but they've probably been defeated. And I guess in Godzilla Dominion, we find out that the Titans end up going to sleep. Godzilla tells them to go to sleep, maybe. So, wasn't Ghidorah at his hibernation form in their first fight? Yes, my baby. He was, but still. So was the Muto Prime. And Kong, he wasn't exactly hibernating, but he was still sedated, and he was still tired. And he was not on his own turf. So, I would say there's a lot more going against Kong than people think here. What do you think of Godzilla and Mechagodzilla laughing? I have no idea what that means. But, embrace your ugly. The reason why is because... Huh? Embrace your ugliness. Oh, yeah, baby. Thank you. Why is because the characters are always like, ooh, it's just... Alright. Thank you, Maine. I love you, baby. And Ape, the other Titans are just resting. Yes, they are. Thoughts on Kong beating Mechagodzilla? That's what he needed, at least. If you're gonna even, like, get saved against the fucking Warbat, which shows Kong would just basically die in the Hollow Earth, I would say. Maybe he could have escaped that, but he was basically restricted and, like, asphyxiated, so I couldn't exactly tell if Kong would be able to wouldn't be able to escape from the Warbat. He got saved by the humans twice in the ocean battle with Godzilla. He got saved once with the Warbats. Just because he won against... he needed that win against Mechagodzilla. He needed to show that he doesn't need to get saved. But he ended up getting saved even against Mechagodzilla. So Kong gets saved a lot now. Probably still not as badly as Godzilla has been. Because if we count, Godzilla got saved... Godzilla gets saved in 2014 by Ford. He gets saved in King of the Monsters by... he gets saved in King of the Monsters... by the Nuke, by Mothra, and I know there's something else. I think he gets saved either 3 to 4 times. Kong was saved once in Kong Skull Island. technically he got saved once in Kong Skull Island, and he got saved a couple more times in GVK. So they're either equal or Kong is saved more. And Kong, if you're gonna have a monster be A tier while Godzilla's S tier, no. If Mechagodzilla is S tier, Godzilla would be A tier, and then B tier would be Kong. If I'm gonna assume Mechagodzilla is 1, Godzilla is 2, Kong is 3. But Kong needed that win against Mechagodzilla at least. But he still got saved, and he shouldn't be getting saved as often as he was. Death doesn't equal defeat. Thank you, an ape with internet access, my child. For the Titans at the end of King of the Monsters, submitting means defeat. Yes, it does. Physical attacks won't kill the Shinamura. Yeah, so that's why Kong wouldn't be able to win unless his axe was charged and he was able to disintegrate it. But yeah, they can't do anything. Muto Prime is not supposed to kill other Titans. She was made to kill Godzilla species. No, that's not true. She was sure, like, she has a lot of like evolutionary advantages against Godzilla, and yeah, she may be tailor-made to kill Godzillas and prey on Godzillas, but she can still kill other Titans, and she can still be, if she's more powerful than Godzilla, she can probably beat a lot of other Titans. Round 1, was that battle? Yeah, I know. They made Kong more powerful because people would complain if he didn't pull up a fight. Exactly. No, Kong has been, first of all, in the Showa era, you guys are gonna give me a lot of shit for this. In the Showa era, Kong was basically, he had Godzilla on the ropes in the beginning of their physical battle. He tanked the atomic breath. He tanks the atomic breath. Hand to hand, he was able to outsmart Godzilla. He showed his intelligence, and then he knocks himself out. If you actually watch that battle, Kong is winning up until he knocks himself out, and I would say that would be plot armor because Kong just showed he can ambush Godzilla intelligently. And then he gets knocked out. He knocks himself out by flipping like a jack fuck ass for no reason. So I would say that just made no sense. It wasn't his character, man. It was so dumb. So I didn't get that. And I didn't realize how much that bothered me until a couple years back when I actually broke down why Kong, why that was just plot armor. It made no sense in the battle. Enjoy Rampage. But no, they didn't make Kong more powerful. We know Kongs can go against Godzillas. This was confirmed in King of the Monsters, confirmed in the trailer, and now confirmed in the film because not only were Kongs as big as this current Kong, but they've always been powerful enough to kill Godzillas, and we don't know if they even used, the axe was basically useless against this Godzilla who's much more powerful than other Godzillas of the past, so maybe they use their axes against Godzillas, but they also use their axes against other monsters. So, Kongs were able to go against Godzilla. Alright, embrace your ugly. My comments have not been read a lot. I'm sorry, man. I'm going through the comments right now. I'm making an extended ultimate cut of Godzilla vs. Kong. It's 4 hours. It's going to answer all the questions. I'm more serious than Kaiju Infinity Apex. That's awesome. I'm working on my own Godzilla vs. Kong movie. I'm actually working on... if we're going to talk about my channel plans real quick, I'm commissioning a model for the IDW Godzilla. I just nailed the design conceptually with this artist I'm working with, and he's very, very professional. I did not like Snake 151, aka 2009 Mechagodzilla, because not only was he rude, but it took 6 months, like 6 to 8 months or something, just for like the model to be finished when it said it would take a couple weeks. So that was one thing, and the other thing is that the model wasn't even detailed. It just sucked. I did not like that model. Not happy with the outcome. I'm getting a new IDW commission design, and it's going to look much, much like a movie model. It's going to look much more like cooler, and it'll be much more true to my vision. I'm going to make IDW Godzilla and Mothra vs. Destroyer. That's the first one. Second one's going to be Godzilla vs. the Gargantuas, the IDW recreation. Third one is going to be Godzilla vs. Zilla. I'm hoping that gets like at least a million views, because that's what the last dumb video I made when I was a kid got. And then I'm going to make an all-original animation featuring my boy Space Godzilla. And then we will get my big culminating battle. Hopefully I've learned a bunch of stuff and made impressive visual effects at that point, where I would make Godzilla vs. King Kong Heisei version. From then on, I should start my 3D animated Kaiju Cinematic Universe, which I'm planning on making, because that is going to be, it's going to start off as remakes of the first 4 MonsterVerse movies, and then it's going to spiral into a at least 5 phases I've written out, where it's going to have character development for Godzilla, likable characters. My plan is to reinvent the kaiju genre. That's what I want to do with my life, and make my stamp on the entire genre. I don't care if it's fan-made. I don't care if I make no money off of it. I want to make an all-original vision, not held back by anything. I just want to make a movie series featuring these monsters, and you know, have good characters, good story, and I want to make the audience cry. So that's what I've always wanted to do with my life. But I'm glad you're gonna make your series, Infinity Apex. Good job, man. I cannot wait. Let me know. Michael Painter says, if Kong had experience, he could beat Godzilla. Kong is experienced, but the problem is he's just like he was just weak. He got saved so often. It made no sense. Like, at least don't have him get saved so often, you know? That's like saying they made Heisei Burning Godzilla so powerful they didn't make him a match for... I don't know what he's saying. Night Hunter, I don't get it. Kong's axe supercharge can literally rip off Mechagodzilla's limbs, but when supercharged against Godzilla, it doesn't do jack shit except measly slice in the leg. High Flyers tag team, we're all in a group chat, me and him, and he said that one reason he found is because Godzilla's leg is much fleshier, and Godzilla is still durable, but Mechagodzilla is much more mechanical. It may not have... If it hit Godzilla's head, if the axe hits Godzilla's head is basically all bone, while his leg is much fleshier, so it stabs into Godzilla's leg, but when it comes to his head, it doesn't really do anything because it's all bone. I don't buy that. I kind of don't buy that. I kind of believe it, but then I kind of don't, because it should have decapitated Godzilla. It should have sliced into his head and left an axe just hanging there. But it didn't. So, you know, I don't get that. But I understand that. I would say it's because Godzilla is much more durable, but Mechagodzilla is much more mechanical, and he's much more, like, able to get destroyed. It took a lot of hacking from Kong to actually kill Mechagodzilla, so that was cool. And you guys notice that, like, liquid that was coming out of Mechagodzilla every time he got hit? Like, that was fucking insane. Thoughts on how powerful Godzilla's atomic breath is in GVK? I'm happy with it. Dude, I'm happy with it. Why? Because Kong tanked it. He straight up tanked it on his back, so that was great. Toho said they didn't want Godzilla. Don't want him to emote. Jaden, I doubt they said that, because if they did, Toho, they're fucking idiots. Why would they not have Godzilla emote? If you're going to make him the destroyer of worlds, I get not having him emote would be cool, but this Godzilla deserves character. He needs character and expression to back up and carry his own movies. Otherwise, that's why Kong is able to carry his own movies, because he's able to emote. Godzilla has not been able to emote as well as Kong, and he needs to. And it's not going to be unrealistic or anything. It's going to be good. I watched the Snyder Cut Wonder Boy, and I didn't... It was like, meh. I really liked Ezra Miller, and, like, you know, watching all of... I liked... I don't know. I liked the original one because it was funny, and it was fucking funny as fuck, trying to see, like, what was reshot and what wasn't. Like, Henry Cavill's mustache, and he's like, do you bleed? And we got Gal Gadot with her corny-ass acting. Always, I bow to no one. Like, get the fuck up, Gal. You can't even act. Gal Gadot sucks ass. I hate her. She can't act for shit, and she just stands there posing. Like, get the fuck out of here. Choke. I can't cuss. Thoughts? Yeah, powerful Godzilla's atomic breath is. They made Kong really powerful, else he would have gone down. So, yeah, okay. How do you think Kong would fare in a match against Godzilla 2014 or Dagon? With or without, Kong is whooping Godzilla 2014. He's destroying Dagon. Yeah, nice job, Infinity, with your cut of Godzilla vs. Kong. Oh, dude, I'm going behind in chat. Oh, fuck, dude, there's so many comments I'm missing. I'm responding to, like, every comment. I'm gonna skim through it. I'm so sorry, guys. And I love that Kong rammed his shoulder back into place. That was awesome. Would you want to see Kong and Godzilla team up again in the final? Yeah, that is the plan. I will tell you right now. They will team up again to beat an all-time big monster in a Destroy All Monsters flick. They will. There's no way they'll pass that opportunity up. If they do, fuck all of them, man. Like, they're stupid. But they'd be able to. I know they're going to do it. Mechagodzilla being in the movie was just a cash grab. You know, I kind of agree with that, because it's, you know, shitty fan service, but at the same time, it's like, they actually did something with, you know, that whole plot. They actually did something cool, so that was good. Kong was giving Mechagodzilla a good fight. Godzilla got destroyed. One can use that shitty argument of, well, Mechagodzilla was tailor-made to kill Godzilla, but not Kong. Just like the Mutos are made to kill Kong, but not other monsters. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Kong, I'm glad he... It doesn't really... It kind of makes sense that he's able to beat Mechagodzilla, but... It kind of makes sense, because you could say Mechagodzilla was made to kill Godzilla, but not Kong. But yeah, there should be a battle between Kong 76 and the Heisei Godzilla. That's exactly what I'm planning on doing, man, is the Godzilla vs. King Kong Heisei. It's going to be a revamped 1976 Heisei King Kong design, and going up against the Godzilla 1991 design, which is my all-time favorite Godzilla design, in terms of a Heisei, because that... Oh, he's so cool. He's so fucking cool. My voice is going hoarse. My horse is going voice. I was disappointed we didn't see the aftermath of Skull Island when Ghidorah did his call. Yeah, same here. I have heard of Altiori. I can't really tell if I like her or not, because I saw a video on... Look, I may not be a fan of her channel, but she summed up perfectly how, you know, the fandom sometimes fucking sucks. And she doesn't deserve all the shit she gets, but, you know, she doesn't... She has a right to make as many videos as anyone else does. Doesn't matter if they're negative or if they're weird, but, yeah, you know, like, I wouldn't say she deserves any of the hate she gets. All the fans basically either being sexist or being racist or being all of the above on her videos, not okay. Not okay at all, you know? So, if you don't like her videos, just watch something else. You don't have to leave nasty comments, because people don't take kindly to that. People don't understand that if you start getting a lot of negative comments, that will take a toll on a person. You know, we're all still people with, like, emotions and feelings, and you all have days where the walls cave in. You have other days where you're strong and you're funny and you're laughing. Sometimes people hide their emotions with a smile, and sometimes people are just, you know, transparent. It doesn't matter. But Altiori, I'm sure, is a great person, and she deserves a lot more than getting the hate she got, or has gotten, or is getting. And I'm glad that she's powering through it, because she's a strong person. So, good on you, Altiori. Thoughts on how powerful... That was a while back, that comment. I can't wait for your cinematic universe. Thank you, Embrace Your Ugly. Thank you. Mr. G, I answered your question, hopefully. For some dumb reason, Godzilla isn't allowed to emote. And apparently a rule for the contract of Godzilla, because Toho believes that Godzilla is a god and it's out of his character. Yeah, but Toho also had Godzilla talk, so they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Yeah, he emotes. He can emote. Kong pulled his axe out of Godzilla's skull when he got it. So, no, he didn't. That was not a Godzilla skull. Maybe it was, but way too big to be a Godzilla skull. I'm gonna read some comments, guys. So I'm gonna go quiet a little bit. If Adam Wingard said that was the only rule he had to follow was Godzilla not emoting, then that sucks, dude. That really sucks. If Toho wants to make Godzilla last much longer and have much more of a cultural impact upon cinema and upon, like, audiences all around, for God's sake, cut it out with the fucking, like, studio intervention. That just ruins movies. Time and time again, that is shown movies are going to fail if studios intervene as much as they do. Like, I get what happened with Godzilla Heritage, for example, was not really okay. Like, I get Heritage, they shouldn't be able to profit off their work. Kind of, I get that. But, you know, like, at least give them, like, a way to release their film. Same with Godzilla vs. the Wolfman. Give them ways to release their films, because people want to see that at the end of the day. It's all made by fans. You know, let them have a little bit of dough, but not too much. Just let us see the films, you know? Godzilla and Kong hates each other with a burning passion. Why would Godzilla be like, okay, we're friends now, yet Godzilla left Kong for dead? Also, that Mechagodzilla having Ghidorah's brain. I would say Godzilla leaving Kong for dead at first. Godzilla tries to kill Kong throughout the movie. Eventually, Godzilla respects Kong. He tries to kill Kong throughout the movie. Time and time again, Kong shows he will not bow. And so, Godzilla ends up respecting that. And that's why he ends up realizing, yeah, there will be another alpha. Why not? If they are able to get around it and convince Toho... If Adam Wingard is able to get around it and convince Toho Godzilla needs to show emotions, good on him. Infinity Apex's version is R-rated, so when Kong hits Godzilla's head, it's going to be gruesome, but he's not going to die, don't worry. Thank you. Yeah, we don't want either monster knocking each other's head off. Because that's the one thing I don't like, is like, in superhero movies, like, you'll have them, like, fighting, and then the winner will just rip off a head. And it's like, if you could have done that, you would have fucking done it. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't really care about... I just laugh my ass off at the first Justice League because it's just meme gold. But, I'm not really a fan of DC, to be honest. Can't wait for the cinematic universe. The idea of Godzilla taking a nuke. Yeah. Will you want the Skullcrawlers to return? Yeah, why not? I'm kind of done with the Skullcrawlers. I want to see other monsters bigger than Kong, more muscular than Kong, ones that can take Godzilla, you know, the distance. And I want to see Kong, you know, prevail against the monster that's way bigger than him, which is what he's always done in the past. And I want to see him win when the odds are against him without getting saved, because that's what this character deserves. Especially after the treatment he got in GBK, where he got saved so often. Would you want to see more Godzilla solo rampages? I would like to see Godzilla destroy... Let's talk about it, guys. The big point that I want to make. Alright, let me check my sweat stains. They're there. Okay. Now listen. Mechagodzilla was able to... I want to make my webcam small. And I just want to kind of... Let me pull up like a trailer really quick. Godzilla versus Kong. All trailers. Let me load this up so you guys have something to like watch at least. I like how there's like no all trailers or something. Here we go. Oh! Too loud, damn it. Look how cool this is, guys. I go to my... No. I go to my bookmarks and I can just... click to hide YouTube overlays. Boom. Oop that shit. Alright, guys. Oh shit, no! Alright. We need cock. So, Mechagodzilla is a monster who... Let's talk about King of the Monsters very quickly. So, in Godzilla King of the Monsters, the humans develop an oxygen destroyer, a prototype, which straight up showed it can defeat any Titan on Earth. So virtually, Titan problem is solved, right? Now we have... but in that movie, King Ghidorah is the one who survives the oxygen destroyer. And the reason is because he's a monster not from Earth, he's from space. He doesn't need oxygen. Every other earthly Titan does. But not Mechagodzilla, but Ghidorah does not. So, we have the oxygen destroyer, which can defeat any Titan. And then we have Mechagodzilla now, who can defeat Godzilla effortlessly. So, if, let me turn down, the audio very quickly. So if we have like Godzilla, that was unprofessional, I'm sorry. So if we have the Oxygen Destroyer able to wipe out any earthly Titan, they've had 5 years to improve the Oxygen Destroyer, which was a prototype. If they're able to destroy any Earth Titan with the Oxygen Destroyer, then they have Mechagodzilla, who can definitely beat King Ghidorah. Why not just wipe out all the Titans? They have Mechagodzilla, they have blueprints to Mechagodzilla, they can totally rebuild Mechagodzilla, make him more powerful, make him more deadlier, make him more heavy on weapons, make him heavier. You know, they can do a ton of things with Mechagodzilla. They can make Mechagodzilla again. They have 5 years, they can improve the Oxygen Destroyer way more than, you know, the military. The US military has blueprints of it. They have the Oxygen Destroyer, they have Mechagodzilla. The Titan problem is solved, okay? Realistically, there is no reason this universe should keep going, because they can destroy either of those characters, you know? Either of the Titans. So I'm gonna check the stream and make sure everything's going according to plan. Of course, I have an ad on my own video. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, the time problem is solved. So I don't understand why they're still going about the whole oh, there you go. That's cool. So it's actually working. So yeah, Mechagodzilla helps against space monsters like Ghidorah and maybe like Space Godzilla, any other space monsters that are out there, and you know. All the Earthly Titans are taken care of by the Oxygen Destroyer, and even Mechagodzilla. So they have a way to solve the Titan problem. No problem. And yeah, that's kind of just like an inconsistency. I'm sure they're not going to really talk about that, but they do have a way to kill all Titans. They're just not gonna. Walter Simmons, I talked about it in the beginning of the stream. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's able to just defeat. He just wants the Titans to be dead because. He just wants Godzilla to stop attacking his facilities ever since they turned on Mechagodzilla. And, you know, at the end of the day, they just, it's really just about public safety, and these Titans should be eradicated because, look, I get Godzilla can defend against other Titans. He can defend cities as he was at the end of King of the Monsters. The issue with that is that there's going to be collateral damage. There are going to be lives that are lost. So it's better to just get rid of all of them if we're going to be realistic. Okay. So that's one of my biggest gripes with this whole Monsterverse so far, is that they have ways to destroy the Titans due to sloppy writing. Thanks to Michael Dougherty, and thanks to just not giving a fuck about the source material, man. But yeah. So yeah, there was something else I wanted to talk about. Let me read chat very quickly. There we go. Alright. Oh, nope, there we go. Alright, do you think Kong should have won if Godzilla didn't have as much plot armor? No. I wanted to detect a copyright audio in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Fuck me, dude. Can I not show the trailer? This shit's free. Yeah, it just said my stream might be blocked because I'm using copyright material or whatever, but I just pirated the movie, it's not a big deal. Do you think Kong should have won if Godzilla didn't have as much plot armor? No, I think my dynamic ultimately when it comes to Kong and Godzilla is that Kong should have been shown to take Godzilla the distance, push him past his limits, one-on-one. Ghidorah is different. Ghidorah should have destroyed Godzilla no matter what and shown Godzilla, forced Godzilla to team up with other monsters. Kong, one-on-one, should force Godzilla past his limits, one-on-one as a monster. And eventually he should lose, but that should show he can earn Godzilla's respect and Godzilla can allow there to be another Alpha Titan. But Godzilla just has a lot of plot armor. I don't really like it. Do you think Ancient Ghidorah is stronger than King of the Monsters Ghidorah? No. Because in King of the Monsters... What the fuck, stream? It keeps saying we've... Alright, you know what? Let me turn off monetization. Okay. Hopefully you can... Hopefully the stream can fuck off with those warnings. Do you think Ancient Ghidorah is stronger than King of the Monsters Ghidorah? No, because in King of the Monsters, Ghidorah received an electrical grid power-up. I don't think there's any source of energy that is as powerful as that source of energy in the past. Sure, the Earth was 10 times as radioactive, but still, I don't think there was enough, like, I guess, energy back then to match an entire Boston power grid. So I wouldn't say he is. And it doesn't matter if 3 other Titans fought with Godzilla. That doesn't mean they were needed to fight against Godzilla. I mean, against Ghidorah, because obviously Godzilla was able to destroy Ghidorah one-on-one throughout the King of the Monsters movie. I just stuttered like 8 times. I think I just had a stroke. Let's see. Remember how much weight GFK had? Dude, don't even get me started. I'm gonna have PTSD over here. What if Godzilla and Ghidorah... What if Godzilla and Kong... I have Ghidorah on my head, dude. What if Godzilla and Kong weren't weakened by each other and fought Mecha-G since Mechagodzilla only came out until the end? They probably both would have still lost. But... who knows, honestly. They'd probably stand much more of a chance, but still would have lost ultimately. Lol. Ren and Mark... Fuck, dude. Where'd that comment go? Lol, Ren and Mark were completely wasted in this film. Hey, Hassan. So, yeah, I completely agree with that. So, Ren Serizawa, they just name-dropped Serizawa to just show, for fan service, oh yeah, this is Ren, this is Ken Watanabe's son. What the fuck's his name? What the fuck is his name, dude? Ishiro Serizawa. I just realized, because I don't even call him by his first name. So, Dr. Serizawa's son is Ren Serizawa. Why? I have no idea. Because you need a Japanese actor in your movie to sell to Chinese and Japanese audiences. So that's why he was in the movie, dude. His acting sucked. His accent was shit. Dude, we saw Shun Aguri. I get it. He's Japanese. But, dude, there's no reason for him to be in the movie other than to cater to those audiences. Because I swear to God, his acting sucked ass. We were in the theater... me and my friend Alex, and I swear to God, I swear, man, we saw, he was like, I think in the beginning, he says, your thing on, your acting sucks ass. No, he said, like, something about how, when he's talking to Nathan Lin, he's like, your research on the Hollow Earth is astounding, but it just sounded fucking awful, dude, because, like, his English is bad, you know? Practice the line and then just say it. But, like, I get it's hard, but, dude, don't cast him for no reason. He didn't have to be Ren Serizawa. He could have been any other person. There's no reason. They didn't explore Ren's, like, motivation against Godzilla. They kind of just want you to assume you already know, but there's no explanation. Why is he going against Godzilla? He believes what Walter Simmons does, but, like, why kill Godzilla? Your father was an adamant believer upon Godzilla and, you know, always fought for his cause. So why are you going against Godzilla now? At least explain that for people who watch the past movies. And it's not even about watching the past movies. At least explain why this character does not like Godzilla. They explain why Walter Simmons doesn't. Why doesn't Ren like him, you know? I wish the ancient rivalry was expanded upon more. You know what, Night Hunter? I want to talk about that real quick. I hate how now everything is being explained as there's an ancient rivalry. There's an ancient rivalry. The Mutos had an ancient rivalry with Godzilla. Ghidorah, ancient rivalry with Godzilla. Kong, ancient rivalry with Godzilla. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? Ghidorah was the perfect opportunity they could have had to show that Ghidorah is like they could have shown I gotta text real quick, but with Ghidorah, they could have shown that this is the first time Godzilla encounters Ghidorah. That would have been more interesting to see than Godzilla just kind of squinting and looking confused at Ghidorah. With Kong, this should have been the first time Godzilla saw Kong, too. That would have been interesting to see. How does he react to a monster who... they're both encountering each other for the first time. Kong has a lot more advantages than people think, and he's a lot more different than any other time that Godzilla has faced. So, why not see how Godzilla adapts to this new monster? Why not see how he adapts to Ghidorah? Instead, ancient rivalry. It's an ancient rivalry. Don't even worry about it. It's an ancient rivalry. It's already explained. Like, it's bullshit. I hate seeing that so often, you know? Yeah. Sex. Killed out. Kong did not submit. By dropping the axe, it feels like it did. No. I understand that, Killed out. That actually makes sense. Good on you for pointing that out. Dropping the axe kind of feels like he is submitting, but at the same time, it doesn't, because Kong is kind of just dropping the axe to show he doesn't, it's kind of Kong dropping the axe to show, Godzilla may have thought Kong wanted to fight again. Kong dropping the axe to show that he doesn't want to fight again. I mean, he's not saying he doesn't want to fight again, but he's saying, like, I would say it's more of just the, you know, we're both, like, done. We both just helped each other. It's more about a respect thing, because, you know, maybe Godzilla's offended. Hey, that's my ancestor's axe. That's my axe. That's my ancestor's spine you have, that you're holding right there. Kong drops it to show that, you know, they both respect each other, I'd say. I wouldn't say it was out of the two, like... I wouldn't say it's Kong ultimately submitting to Godzilla. Because he showed right there that he roared at Godzilla and he was like, I'm not going to back down against you, man. Alright, just want to know, what do you think... Who do you think will win in a brawl? A sized-up late Showa-era Godzilla or Mothra vs. Kong? Interesting to think about. I would say Legendary Godzilla is much more powerful than Showa Godzilla. Now, I get there are some feats like, oh, well, when Titanosaurus jumped across the city, he was this big, and now he's 800 million tons or something, or just some shit like that. But when you actually watch those films, it's like we've seen a lot more devastating feats from Legendary's Godzilla than, you know, Showa Godzilla. At least I would say. I would have to probably research that role, or research all the movies. But yeah, I would say Legendary Godzilla would win. All right, bruh moment. In King of the Monsters credits, a new article said a mechanized Titan was being built under Skull Island. Yeah, MG was built in Hong Kong in secret. So do you think possible a Mechanic Kong appearance would occur? Maybe. Maybe we could see a mechanical Kong being constructed under Skull Island, and that's what... Maybe they awaken Camazotz, and Camazotz is the one who ends up destroying a bunch of, like, you know, islands and plotting, you know, making Skull Island get transformed into eternal darkness somehow. Maybe. I don't know. Do you think Kong's axe can absorb Mechagodzilla's breath? Probably. Thoughts on Eiza Gonzalez? Her character was okay, but she was hot as fuck. I saw your comment last time. I forgot to respond to it, but I liked her character because she was kind of that perfect, like, all strong female character who's ultimately evil. But like, I loved her in Baby Driver. She's very, if she wants to be, she can be a badass. If she wants to be, she can be very scary, but she can also be very like confident, and she could be very like, she wasn't even phased by a fucking 400-foot Kong. So imagine like, you know, imagine like how she is against other. I think the only time she got scared was when the Warbat, I think. When did she get... I know she got scared when it came to something else, but I don't know. I kind of liked Eiza Gonzalez's character. I didn't understand. Kong was in Monarch Outpost 200 or something. How did they build it without Kong interfering? I have no idea. I wish they would answer that. They're probably going to answer that in Kingdom Kong, but it looks like Kong doesn't even care about the Monarch characters being in... It looks like they don't care about... It looked like in King... Let me think about this. In Birth of Kong... Kong didn't exactly kill Aaron Brooks, even though Aaron was in Monarch outfits and stuff. You know, he knew Aaron was different from the Iwi, but he didn't kill him. Same with the characters in Kong Skull Island. He doesn't kill those characters, despite them being involved with the assault fleet. Because they're innocent characters, they're innocent people. Well, Kong is the protector of all innocent life. It's true, he is. So, I would say he wouldn't have killed them unless they tried harming, you know, anybody on the island. So, if ultimately Monarch Outpost creators were, had, like, bad intention, I would say that's why, Kong would have, I would say, yeah, Kong wouldn't attack the people creating that Monarch Outpost unless they had malicious intent, which they did not. And if they did not provoke Kong in any way, which they did not. Matsu, yo, what's up? What's up, man? How you doing? I miss you. That's my friend, dude. That's one of my best friends. He's known him since 6th grade, so what's up, man? How you doing, bro? I miss you. Love you. Why don't we dump off the monkey? Michael Painter says. Why don't we dump you off instead? Would you want a Toho-designed kaiju to appear in the Monsterverse? At least destroy at least a monster like Space Godzilla or Gigan would be cool. I'm not really a fan of Gigan as much as other fans are. He's cool, but I don't really care that much about him. Monster X would be interesting to see. I'm looking at my wall. Nah, ultimately Destroya is the one who is needed. And Hedorah, that'd be pretty cool. Those two would take priority to me. Okay, a lot of people. Do you think Kong's species won the Ancient War? I mean, maybe. I don't know. There's not a lot of Godzillas left. I read somewhere that someone said Godzilla saw that Godzilla's, apparently it was Dagon and Godzilla whose species was left, and Dagon was female, and I guess that's why, maybe the Kongs won, because it seemed like there was, I would say the Kongs won, because from what we know, there aren't that many Godzillas left, okay? But in Birth of Kong, we saw that there were a lot more Kongs than there were Godzillas, so ultimately, I would say Kongs won. But, it's not win as in like, oh, we killed all the monsters, we killed all the other Godzillas, but it's more of like, oh, we've defeated, there are a lot more Kongs than there are Godzillas left, so that's why I would say that it's confirmed. Yeah, and AU says, I heard Godzilla King of the Monsters novel confirmed Ghidorah has a sibling. Fuck that shit, dude. Fuck Doherty. That's just like, that's literally Zack Snyder going, okay, we're gonna put Doomsday in BVS, but he's not actually Doomsday, so if I fuck up this chance, the next chance, you guys get to see Doomsday again. Like, fuck you, man. That's such a cheap cop-out, you know? Julio Paster. Oh, by the way, Mateo, my man, Matsu says, yeah, I just peeped YouTube and saw you were streaming, so decided to stop by. A cool stream, by the way. Love the face cam. Hey, man, thank you so much. This is a new face cam that I got. Well, my sister gave it to me. And, yeah, we're talking about GVK, man. So if you saw it, you might as well, talk about it. And if not, then go see it, dude. It's actually pretty damn good, I would say. It's not like the other monster films. It's much more fast-paced. There's a lot more monster action. The visual effects are pretty good. It's interesting. It's fun to kill, like, an hour and 53 minutes if you want, man. But yeah, guys, give my man Mateo some love, dude, because that's a homie since 6th grade, dude. So yeah, dude, I love you a lot. And Ape with Internet Access says, who do you think would walk out alive in a match? Kong versus Mothra and Rodan? Kong, dude. Semi-high difficulty? Nope, not even that. Not even that, because Mothra is 53 feet tall. She is fucking weak, okay? Now, the only thing those two have above Kong is speed. That's it. Mothra has a stinger. Look at this shit. Come here. Come here, babies. Oh, I just looked. Okay, so here we got Mothra. Look how small she is. Look how small she is. I'm gonna use Kong for reference right here. Hang on, let me... Oh shit. The wire is stuck on Godzilla's claw. Let go, man! Get off of her. Okay. So... I'm sorry, I'm so stupid. Here we have Mothra, right? I'm gonna use Kong for reference. Kong would be probably about that, maybe that big, but that might be pushing it. So Kong can literally squish Mothra like he did with that heave, okay? Rodan is a lot bigger, but ultimately, I don't care what you guys say. Rodan is 154 feet tall, so compared to Godzilla, let me open this shit. Compared to Godzilla, right here, this is my display case, by the way, if you guys are interested. Compared to Godzilla, Rodan, use my finger for reference, would probably be that big. He's a little bitch, okay? Mothra would probably be like that big. She's a little bitch. So, ultimately, I don't care how long they are. No, they're actually this wide. Fuck that shit, dude. I don't care. She's still small. She's still weak. And the only thing she has against Kong is, like, her webs. Ah! This is how I'm gonna stream from now on. The only thing... no, I'm kidding. The only thing that Mothra has against Kong is her stinger, which we saw with that size comparison. That would be like nothing. Compared to an actual sting, that would be like, it would probably be like this big. Not exactly, maybe it'll pierce all the way through, but I don't even think it'll do that. I think it'll just go really deep, and it would just kind of bother Kong, you know? But I don't think it's going to do a lot. Her webs are the only thing that's actually going to, like, do something, but even then, like, Kong could probably break out of that no problem. Ghidorah broke out of it with one head, and, if there's nothing to kind of, like, web Kong near, like a building, which Kong could probably just ram through, she won't do shit. She'll get slapped out of the air like the bug she is. Rodan is just going to get his wings torn off. Rodan's a bitch, dude. He's going to retreat before anything happens because that's just how he is. He's a retreater and he's a beggar, and he's just a little fucking coward. So, yeah. And I know that was a bit angry, but I hate what they did with Rodan, okay? What was your favorite Ghidorah head? Dude, don't even... He says, sorry if I'm spamming the Ghidorah questions. I'm very curious and I'm a big Ghidorah simp. Hey, man, don't even worry about it. I know. I'm glad you're asking. Ask way more questions, dude. Don't even worry about it. My favorite Ghidorah head? I'm not into that whole like Ichi or Mino or Schlipple or whatever the fucking heads are named. Like Ichi, Ichiro. No, that's fucking Godzilla's Revenge Kid. I'm not into like all that bullshit, but I liked. I don't really care about the heads, to be honest. I just liked Ghidorah overall, like being menacing and all that. Okay. Michael Barrios asks, who wins, Mega Kaiju of Kong? Mega Kaiju from Pacific Rim or Kong with the axe? Well, come here. Come here, babies. Let me take you somewhere. Mega Kaiju. So this is official. This is Mega Kaiju. These are meters, right? Mega Kaiju is pretty goddamn big. But the problem is he's very, very light. He's extremely light. So, I would say Kong would take it. With or without his axe, he would take it. Because he's just much more, like, powerful. You know? Sorry, I gotta see my, like, my fucked up screen. Yeah, so I don't think Mega Kaiju's winning that fight. AU says, I heard Godzilla King... Oh, yeah, no, I already said that. AU confirms Ghidorah has a sibling. Julio says, what I meant by a brawl, it's just comparing their hand-to-hand combat skills. Monsterverse, Kong was a beast in the movie. That's why I said it's pretty interesting when thinking about it. Yeah! No, I think Godzilla might be a better hand-to-hand combat... No! I don't think so. I don't know. I forgot he can fly, but still... Kong might have comparable, if not better, hand-to-hand combat feats and skill, but I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to like research it or something, because I've only seen all the Showa movies like once, and I've seen them individually a couple of times more. I used to watch Destroy All Monsters when I was a kid. I saw the VHS tape back there in my my little drawer. But yeah, so sorry. Julio says, "Hey, you said my first name right." Thanks, man. I fucked up at first because I thought it was just something else, but no, it's okay. Louis says, is Monster X still in control when he becomes Kaiser Ghidorah? I would say they're the same entity, you know? But who knows? They might be different consciousness. One thing I actually did see is that if you guys keep seeing, highballers, always, which is like people who over-glorify certain feats, if you see people saying Final Wars is so strong, he destroyed Gorath, who's 100 million tons or some shit like that. The director of Final Wars confirmed recently that not only was not only was that like meteor that Godzilla destroyed at the end of Final Wars not Gorath, but that was just Monster X's like encompassed asteroid delivery thing. It was just Monster X in like a small asteroid being that's just kind of the way he transports himself through space, is through a meteor. So that was not Gorath that Godzilla destroyed. Okay, so it was confirmed recently. So if you guys see people saying that, don't believe it. And that's a good question, Louis. Is Monster X still in control when he becomes Kaiser Ghidorah? I have no idea. I would say they're probably the same entity, but maybe they're like the Hulk and Bruce Banner fighting for dominance, and ultimately it's either Monster X is one thing and then Ghidorah is a whole other thing with three separate like consciousness, while Monster X is his own separate consciousness, or maybe Monster X fuses with Ghidorah so that one of the two heads is Monster X's consciousness, or maybe it's all just Monster X, or it's all just Ghidorah. Who knows? But yeah. Oh, Nape with Internet Access says, we love Matsu. Thank you. Yeah, dude. Matsu's amazing, dude. I'm gonna take a photo of that. That'll brighten up a man's day. He's working hard, dude. He's working amazingly. Good on him, man. Do you think the next Monsterverse movie is going to be a Kong film or Godzilla film? It should be a Kong film, I'd say, because Godzilla... They need to figure out their formula with Godzilla. They need to give Godzilla more character. They need to give Kong... What? They need to give Godzilla more character. They need to give his human cast much better writing. A lot better writing. They need they need to build something special with Godzilla. So I'm hoping they do that. But yeah, Skullcrawler versus Warbat. Probably the Skullcrawler, I'd say. Its arms are way too long. I don't know, because the Warbat's also Ghidorah size. It's like 1,000 feet long or something. But I don't know. The Skullcrawler is just really fucking durable, and he'll probably shred through the Warbat. Do you think the next? Yeah, I already answered that. I think it would be a Kong movie, Godzilla movie, and then probably a Destroy All Monsters movie. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? I know I keep saying that a lot. AU says, "What do you think of Godzilla Raids Again?" I don't really have a problem with it. It's probably really boring. It looks like a cash grab, but it's interesting in some areas. It really is. Is 2021 Kong your new favorite version of King Kong? I have I have no idea. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, he's one of my favorites because King Kong 2005 is just my favorite version. King Kong 1962, one of my favorite versions. 2021 Kong probably is above 1962 Kong in some areas. In other areas, I wouldn't say he is, but yeah. One of. Ape says, Ape with internet access says, facts on the Rodan part. I was having a debate with someone on IG and they claimed Rodan could give Kong a good run for his money despite being folded by Mothra. They blocked me in the end. That's what they do. Just think about it. Rodan lost to a 52-foot tall moth. The only feat she has against Ghidorah is she webbed him up. He broke out of that in an instant. That was some pretty big webbing. I give her that. It was impressive. But ultimately, her stinger is very small. Okay? Compared to Rodan, let's look this up, huh? Come here. Come here, guys. Yeah, you. Come here. Let me keep my fat fucking face in the webcam for now. This is me doing some Blender stuff. Mothra Stinger. If I were to estimate how long her stinger is, I would say probably around 20 feet long, 30 to maybe 40 feet long max. That is the absolute max because her body's only 52 feet tall, and I doubt her stinger's any longer than that. Maybe 40 feet long, we'll say. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt. 40 feet long, okay? 40 feet to Kong is... Let's compare that. Hang on. Compare size. Don't look up P in my history. Nope, not like that. Here we go. Kong is roughly 360 feet, and that's not even accurate, I would say. Compared to 40 feet. If that's how large her stinger is, that would sting Kong quite a bit. And let's say Kong is 370 feet. Look at that. Not much of a difference. That stinger wouldn't do anything to Kong. Honestly. Because not only is this human... This is just height, okay? Kong is much more muscular in areas. He's much thicker in areas. He's much more durable in areas. So the stinger won't do a lot. It will not do a lot to Kong other than sting. Okay? And even then, Mothra's up close. She's going to get up close to sting. And at that point, Kong will just be leaving with wounds. He'll just be leaving with minor wounds, ah, fuck, I got stung, but slap that moth out. Because that's what she is. She's a little bug. That's it. So, you know, she doesn't stand a chance, to be honest. And Rodan doesn't stand a chance against anyone. She scales above him, below him, whatever. So what I understand... Jessica says, so what I understood is Kong doesn't have a chance on his own, but if we take his family or more than one, Kong's species could sure have a chance against Godzilla. I'm not sure. No. Kong may be the strongest of his species, or one of the strongest. He's definitely up there, with the top dogs of his species. Some Kongs have killed Godzillas, because this Godzilla is far more powerful than others of his species. So this Godzilla is above others, but this Kong is at the top of his species, just by, natural. He's one of the tops. He may not be the biggest, most powerful of his species, but he's definitely up there as one of the biggest. Godzilla had buffs. Okay, he absorbed nukes, he's absorbed radiation, and has, you know, grown a lot more than other members of his species. But Kong hasn't. Kong, he's absorbing Hollow Earth radiation, but still, that's like not absorbing a nuke is different. Absorbing radiation from a nuke or a power grid is different, or energy from a power grid. But I would say Kong, a lot of Kongs could kill Godzillas, as Godzillas could kill Kongs. This Godzilla we have in the Monsterverse, this specific Godzilla, Goji we'll call him, this particular Goji, is much more powerful than other members of his species. This Kong, we don't know if he's the most powerful of his species or not. But we know other Kongs have grown nearly as big as him, probably bigger than him, because of the handprint, you know, at the door of the entrance to his lair. That handprint is much more... That handprint shows other Kongs have grown just as big. They may have grown bigger. They may have grown stronger. So, yeah. Dion says, I just asked Michael Dougherty why Ghidorah was so weak, and he said, because Ghidorah was numb from being in the cold. Fuck Michael Dougherty, dude. I'm done with this shit. He's so, like, he expects his minor-ass opinions, like, oh, Quip, I had a plot hole. Let me just make up some shit. He's cold, even though space is obviously colder. Oh, let me just make something up, and these fucking fans, these little fanboys, who are children or just blind, oblivious fanboys, will eat it up because, oh, dude, it's not even about realism. No, it's about consistency, man. It's not consistent at all. That makes no sense at all. So, why are people eating it up? Why are they eating this shit up? And ultimately, that's been my problem, is they're not being consistent in terms of, like, stats and stuff. They're not... If they're gonna... The movies are full of plot holes. King of the Monsters was full of plot holes. It was full of just a bunch of shit. Why are audiences... Not even audiences. Why are G-fans... G-stans... Standum, you know? Just a toxic cultural, like, you know... thing where you blindly defend something just because you love it. Why are we not asking for more? Why are we not asking for more when all we have been getting was less? It makes no sense to me. We deserve more. I always say this. The only reason I'm so harsh on King of the Monsters is because that's an all-time low for the Monsterverse, and we deserve more, okay? So, people are gonna call me people are gonna call me not a true fan. Fuck you with your not a true fan shit, man. I'm asking for more. Maybe true fans ask for more because that's what they deserve, and that's what the character of Godzilla deserves. So we deserve more than what we got in King of the Monsters. Let me go back. Okay. If you want to remake a Godzilla film, what would you go for? Godzilla having his nuclear origins. I honestly, if it were to be a solo film, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want him to fight another monster. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. My stream lagging because I just dissed on Mothra. Yes, AU, I'll read more in the chat. Gorat Feet was debunked by High Flyers. If I were to remake a Godzilla film, I'm gonna power through these. What I would do is just have a lot more monster action, a lot more Why is my stream in the red, man? That's really weird. My stream's in the red. I have no idea. I'm sorry, man. I know it's getting choppy. I don't know what's going on. How do I stop this? I have no idea what's going on, guys. I'm sorry. But let's continue, huh? And if something happens, I can just restart the stream. I know that sucks, but... Fuck me, man. I see it. I see it's choppy. Should I... Let me unlaunch something. Let me quit this. Let me quit... I'm gonna quit some applications. Hopefully this helps. Okay. Oh my god, no, it's still choppy. I don't know what's going on, guys. Final Wars Godzilla is super overhyped. I like it, but he's just overestimated. Yeah, I agree with that. If I were to remake a Godzilla film, I would try to have interesting characters, interesting Godzilla that can actually emote and have expression, build sympathy for him, because that's what he deserves, is some sympathy. We just need a better... We just deserve more, ultimately, I think. Oh, heck, we lagging. Dude, I don't even know what's going on. You know what? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my fat ass up. Let me go check the Wi-Fi very quickly, okay? Oh! What's up with the Wi-Fi? Alright, y'all. Coco, get up there. Go. Go! Hi, girl. I don't know what's happening, dude. Okay. Ah, fuck. KBPS is dropping. Not sure what's going on.